So, today we're going to dive into a story about what happens after the happily ever after. We all think we know the story of long distance relationships, right? The struggle, the waiting. But what happens when that distance finally disappears? What new problems pop up when a relationship built through screens suddenly has to exist in the real world, in the same room? This story really kicks off with that one big dream every long distance couple has: finally being together. But what we're about to see is that sometimes closing that physical gap, well, it doesn't magically solve everything. In fact, sometimes it does the exact opposite. It's like it pulls back a curtain and suddenly you see all the little cracks that were so much easier to ignore when you were 1,000 miles apart. For our couple, Emily and Daniel, moving to the same city was supposed to be the finish line. Turns out it was just the start of a whole different kind of storm. All right, so let's set the scene here. Emily has just moved her entire life to Perth to be with Daniel. The sun's out, it's a brand new start, everything feels like it's finally falling into place. This is the moment they've been waiting for. And this is that first powerful moment. Think about it. After all that time seeing each other on a screen, no more laggy video calls, no more waiting for a text to go through. Danielle opens the door and they're just there, together. It's finally real. And there's just so much relief packed into these few words, isn't there? For Daniel, it's like he can't believe it's actually happening. And for Emily, who left everything behind, Perth isn't just a new city, it's home, because he's home. And those first few days, they are literally a dream come true. It's the highlight reel you'd imagine. Making dinner together, staying up late watching movies, just enjoying the simple fact that they're in the same space. It feels absolutely perfect. Maybe, just maybe, a little too perfect. But of course, that perfect little bubble, it's about to pop. Because as we all know, real life has a funny way of crashing the party, whether you're ready for it or not. And man, it happens fast. On day one, it's all sunshine. But just a week in, you've got the pressures of work, the long hours, the exhaustion. It all starts to creep in. And by day 14, just 2 weeks, something has completely changed. That constant talking that was the bedrock of their relationship, it's been replaced by silence. And this, right here, this is the heart of the issue. They're finding out that being physically present and being emotionally present are two totally different things. The very stuff that kept them strong from afar, those long conversations, the excitement for the next call, it's all gone, replaced by the grind of everyday life. And the crazy part? Emily starts feeling more lonely living with Daniel than she ever did when they were countries apart. In this exchange, wow, it says so much, doesn't it? Emily is seeing this massive shift in their connection, in the soul of their relationship. But Daniel, he's so caught up in work and stress, he's not even on the same page. He thinks it's a logistics problem. She knows it's an emotional crisis. So you've got this new kind of distance growing between them, this tension that's just building and building. You know something's got to give. And when it finally does, it is explosive. The fight kicks off with Emily, and you can just feel her raw frustration. I mean, the stakes for her are sky high. She moved her whole world, job, friends, everything for this. And in her mind, what she's getting is not at all what she signed up for. Daniel immediately gets defensive, right? From his point of view, all this hard work is for them, to build a future. But Emily's response, that just cuts right to the bone. She's questioning his entire motive. Is this really for us, or has he just gotten lost in his own world? And then she hits him with this. This is the emotional gut punch of the whole fight. It drills down past all the excuses. It's not about the job, it's not about the long hours, it's about feeling completely and utterly alone with the one person you're supposed to feel most connected to. That is the new distance they have to figure out. After a blow-up like that, the silence that comes next can go one of two ways. It can be the end, or it can be the moment where real honesty finally has a chance to come out. And here, you just see Emily at her lowest point. She's questioning everything. That horrible fear that the idea of them was better than the reality, it's a devastating thought. And honestly, one a lot of people in this exact spot are terrified to even admit to themselves. And then Daniel just lays it all out there. It wasn't about selfishness or ambition. It was all about fear. The fear of failing, the fear of losing her. He was so busy trying to build some perfect future that he completely forgot to actually live in the present they had fought so hard to have. And this is the light bulb moment for both of them. They realize love isn't some finish line you cross when you move to the same city. It's not just a status, it's an action. It's a choice you have to make every single day to be present, to show up for each other, especially when it's not easy.
Okay, so they've got this huge breakthrough, this new understanding, but how do they actually make it work? They start trying to rebuild, but just as they're getting their footing, there's a catch.
And look, they start small. This isn't about big romantic gestures. It's about creating simple, intentional habits. Dinner together, no phones after 9, walks on the weekend. It's all about carving out a little bit of protected space for just the two of them, away from all the noise of daily life. And just when you think they're finally getting back on track, just as that peace starts to feel real, this message flashes on Daniel's phone. It's so vague, but it's loaded with meaning. And in 1 second, all that progress they've made, that fragile trust they were building, it all feels like it could shatter.
And that just leaves us hanging with this massive question, doesn't it? They've learned that love means showing up, but what happens when a whole new poison, doubt, gets into the mix? Is this new commitment they have strong enough to survive when trust begins to crumble?